Don't you get nervous when he walks to the other room real quickly?
Sometimes, because
Yeah.
it's like he's not a very fast-moving individual.
No, we're separated. Like we're in a room, and then there's, I mean, obviously, but then like there's two other rooms of glass looking in. When Hoodie goes from one to the other quickly with a smile on his face, I always assume something's up.
There is
Or
something up. Look at them, both of them. They're in cahoots with something. What are you doing?
Well, I want you to think about this really quick, Riley. There's a study about how many enemies you actually have. Now, don't say it yet. Think about it for a second.
Like enemies that I don't want anything to do with them, or vice versa.
I think both. I mean, just overall enemies you actually have.
Okay.
Okay. While you're thinking of that, did you know the world's most expensive piece of ham just sold?
Ham?
Now, we talked about the lady in Russia who was trying to sell her wish-granting cat for $147,000.
Silly.
The world's most expensive piece of ham just sold for $14,000.
Is there gold in it?
Well, here's, mind you, piece for one slice of ham.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's from Spain, so that the buyer had a very specific list of instructions how they wanted this pig, I guess. The ham was featured on the Japanese show The Fair Price. It is the most expensive in the world. Guinness has records said this is number one. So I guess they had to be grazing in the mountains for at least 100 days, had to gain 100 kilos during the time they spent grazing, and their diet consisted of only acorns and herbs. Finally, the curing period for the ham was 5 years, which I guess is double the normal size for I didn't know there's premium ham.
I didn't either. Ham was ham to me.
Although, like with honey baked ham, though, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Delicious.
My mom will always get it for Easter, and I'll go in the fridge and just sample some.
Delicious.
I'll unwrap the foil, and then by the time it's time to serve it, the ham is disintegrated. So $14,000 for one slice of ham one day. All right, YouGov did the study. They asked 30,000 Americans how many enemies they have. Now, before you give me, you got that look. Don't look at me. I'm not your enemy.
I didn't say you.
But the way you did the. And then he got back and then cocked a little bit. I'm like, okay. They say that 44% of Americans say they have zero enemies. 5% said one, 10% said between 2 and 5, and 4% said more than that.
Okay.
Now, they didn't define what an enemy is. So it could be anything from arch nemesis to like somebody cuts you off in traffic,
Sure.
yada, yada, yada. And a third said they don't know if they have any enemies out there. So, Riley, let me ask you, how many enemies do you think you have?
If you're going as far as their arch nemesises, probably about 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say who?
One of them that would be like on my end that I would never want, like I wouldn't spit on this person if they were on fire.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna say who, but basically
Wait, hold on. Let me do this and then. Gotcha. Yep. All right.
And then another one would, truth be told, be an ex of mine.
Would be or is an ex?
Is
Wait, okay.
an ex of mine.
And who's that?
There's not a star in.
I go into that reasoning in my podcast, by the way, if you want to check it out.
And then you said there's one more?
This wouldn't be me. This wouldn't be me like receiving this. This isn't me like me hating them. This is them hating me.
Okay, and hold on for that.
Yes, in a way that's different than who we are.
Creating space between.
Okay.
That one, that third one, it's just like it's a vindictive thing that there was truly nothing I could do about it because people have their issues with other people, you know, going their own way about things. And
yeah,
this person was super close to me at one point, and for whatever reason, they're not anymore.
Do you think that it goes both ways? Do you think they look at you as like an enemy?
I would hope not, but judging this person and the way their mind ticks, yes. Because here's the thing. I feel like jealousy and hate are very useless emotions. There's very, very few people in this world that I hate. I don't like that word. But if I get to that point with you, there's a legitimate reason.
Ooh, okay. I'm trying to think for me. I don't know if I have any. Well, I don't really consider anybody an enemy. I think that.
I don't think you occupy that much time in your brain.
No.
But I feel like you have enemies of, like I said, same with me, like not necessarily of your doing.
I think there's people out there who are very probably more angry at themselves than at me, and they just blame their mistakes on me.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Same.
I think people misunderestimate how loyal I am to people, which then like how loyal my friends are to me. I think that is a huge misunderstanding with me in general. There's nobody that I'm like, there's people I certainly like I would say more rivals, but in a competition way of like want to be better than they are. But there's nobody that I'm like, I want them to fail. Yeah, I'm saying like there's no point I think me carrying that on.
Yeah, I don't go so far with that with my enemies either. That like I want you to fail. I just don't want you anywhere in my universe. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Like I go forth and conquer, just somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I probably had more recently. Like there is certainly people, we've talked about this before in my life, who went out of their way to try to make things difficult for really no reason at all. But the irony of that situation was like the more they try to make it difficult, like the harder I had to work, which like made, I don't know, maybe it's like the Starboy. Like the reason like that one tour was like the Starboy song is like that first line of the Weekend Starboy is I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. Like I want my success to make you in the worst mood possible. So I don't know. Maybe I do. Who knows?
Maybe.